Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 12 of Fishing North Atlantic. I'm thinking that I might end up changing out our gear. If I can remember how to do that. I think rigging. And then I was thinking about switching over to longline fishing, and here's why. So right now we need to save like just a ton of money, right? And so if we come over here to, where is it? Finances, fish prices, right? And we go to Yarmouth, it's $2.01 for redfish. And then like some of the other ones like pollock is $1.91, and then mackerel 115, right? And if we go through some of these other ports, then you'll see like it's kind of the same. Pollock is $2 a pound over there. Okay, now that I'm looking at the prices, I'm kind of thinking like maybe not. I think maybe we just stick with the nets. Because I was thinking that when I wanted to start this episode, I was thinking that the prices were going to be significantly different, or not significantly different, but different enough that, I should be wary of that. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is, I wanted to change it out so that I wanted to go longline fishing, like let's say that redfish was $2.50 a pound or something like that, right? And then it would be 50 cents more than like pollock or haddock, right? So in the long run, that would have ended up giving us a lot more money. But when I took a look at the prices just now, that does not seem to be the case. So let's go ahead and head on out of here. And I think right now would be the perfect time for today's comment shout out. All right, today's comment shout out comes from Black Anvil 66, who says, as stated already, price difference is pounds versus kilograms. The habitat you're fishing in is 2 nautical miles in diameter. So I believe your last trip was right along the edge leading to some of the misses. The sonar was set to 1,000 meters. So in the course you were running, it's possible that you were seeing the same echo twice. Plus, I don't think it's that accurate anyway. Lastly, if you set the lines in the afternoon, say at 1400, you'll pick them up around 10 in the morning. So you'll be in the daylight and it's a little easier to see. I just anchor up and forward time to keep from doing work at night. So yeah, that's a pretty good tip, doing the 1400 time thing. I kind of forgot to do that this episode, but it's kind of like at the same time sometimes you just end up fishing for so long that it doesn't really matter. Anyway, back to the game. All right, thank you there, Editor Drake, for that comment shout out. So yeah, basically, first of all, I'm really glad that people are still enjoying this series, and I'll keep it going as long as we continue to get good results, people continue to enjoy to watch it, so on and so forth. And the thing is like, for example, my American Truck Simulator playthrough, right? Like that didn't really go anywhere. Oh, there's seagulls over here. And then same thing with the like I tried playing whatchamacallit, F1 manager, where you're playing as like the team principal of an F1 team and stuff like that. I tried some of those, but I didn't really get like quite as good of a response as I've gotten on these fishing games. And it's kind of funny to me because when I started the fishing game, I thought that this one would be lower performing than the other ones, because at the end of the day, you know, this is the game. Okay, there's plenty of fish on there, so we're gonna go ahead and start laying the nets out. But what I'm getting at, right, is that the YouTube to me is a little confusing, right? Because videos that I expect to do well, like my half sword playthrough or my schedule 1 playthrough, don't. And then the games where like I have no expectations, I just wanted to play it for fun, like those do really well. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but one thing that is really awesome recently though is we just passed 400 subscribers on this new channel, and that is amazing. Thank you so much for that support. At 500 we're gonna be able to unlock memberships, and I'm trying to think of like what I can do for memberships, and I'll have to see if like in the Discord I can like set up somebody as a member there. I know you can do that with like Twitch, like if they're a subscriber, but I don't know about YouTube. But what I was thinking is, what if I started sharing like the save games of my playthroughs for members only? And then the other thing that I would do is probably make it so that the videos come out for members first, kind of thing, because there's got to be some sort of justification for the membership. Anyway, that's where my mindset is. I know that this like somewhat intro and me rambling about took a little bit of time, but what I'll go ahead and do is lay out anywhere from like 13 to 14 lines, or nets rather. I think I'm gonna aim for 14, and yeah, I'll bring you back once I've done that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We just laid out 14 lines, and as you can see, we're in the middle of a storm, and it's nice and dark out. I do wish that the light on my buoy was a little bit more efficient, because it feels like it doesn't work, like, frankly, because like a big bright LED light like that out in the middle of the dark ocean would be really bright. It'd be pretty easy to see, just from my experience having been in the Navy. Now when I say it would be easy to see, I don't mean it like 2 miles away or something like that. I mean like at the distance that we are away from it, it would be easy to see. It would be bright, it would light up the area around it every time it flashed, things like that. Like, it would be pretty noticeable. So like that's one thing that makes me, oh my gosh, 16,260 pounds of fish just now. That's a bit much. Let's go ahead and get Sadie and Graham out on gutting. I was not expecting 16,000 in our first net. That's pretty awesome. But yeah, okay. So as is normal, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and fish up these these nets. I did lay out 14. So we'll grab those and see where we're at that point. I'm thinking that we got to save $1.4 million, a little bit more than that, like 1.5 I think is kind of where the sweet spot might be. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we need to buy the emery next, and upgrade it on top of that. Like, not just go out there in a stock emery. Speaking of the emery, though, we're gonna need a name for the emery. So why don't you go ahead and put what name you think our next boat should be down in the comment section down below, and we'll see. Like, I don't know how I'll choose it. Depends on, like, you know, if the comments get a lot of likes on them or something like that, maybe that's how I'll choose. But if that's not the case, then I think what I'll do is I'll just choose one at random, or one that sounds really good to me. But yeah, leave your thoughts down below in the comment section on what you think the emery should be called, and that will ultimately also end up being the boat that we use to go deep line fishing, because we're also going to sell the Seize the Day here, and so we'll end up selling that in order to afford some of the upgrades to the emery and so forth. But all right, let me go ahead and pick these up after I make a little bit of an error there. Let me go pick these up, and then yeah, I'll bring you right back at the end of the line. Okay, I'm bringing you back early because it turns out that these nets are very, very, very full. We have 48,000 pounds on board as of right now, and I've only picked up 5 nets so far. So that has me a little bit worried, because as you guys know, I don't enjoy wasting fish, even if they're digital fish. I'm not a huge fan of, like, overfishing. So yeah, I don't, you know, because at the end of the day, what I really love is when I play a simulator game, right, I try my best for it to be a simulator, and so ultimately I'm kind of miffed. I was not expecting that many fish. I mean, there are several fish on sonar and such, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna fill up way before we end up at the end of our lines here. Yeah, see? Oh no, you've reached your yearly quota of redfish. Oh, I should have paid attention to that. Okay, 440,000 pounds is what we were allowed this season. Oh no. Speaking of wasting fish, that means all these other nets are going to be wasted, because these nets are mostly filled with redfish. Yeah, we only have like a couple mackerel and a couple pollock. What's our quotas on those? So we're like halfway on pollock, and we got a little bit on mackerel. Oh no! Oh my gosh! Oh no! Okay, maybe we need to buy the new quota, because otherwise, how are we going to be able to buy the emery if we're unable to fish like redfish and such? I guess we have to go after mackerel. I'll figure that out once we get back to port, and we'll play that by ear. Oh my goodness. Yeah, see, and all we're doing is pulling in redfish right now too. Look at that. Oh no, all this wasted fish, and we didn't even get a full boat. Oh man. Oh no. Okay, all right, well, I'll bring you back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming on our last net here, and we're up to 52,000 pounds of fish. Again, the problem is that we ended up reaching our quota for redfish. I was not planning on that whatsoever. What I'm thinking, though, is maybe, just maybe, we rig for lobster fishing because this boat has we have whatchamacallit, we have 396,832 pounds for a whatchamacallit quota for lobster. So maybe that's what we do. We go set some lobster pots and kind of go from there, because if I go out after mackerel doesn't really sell for that much, right? Whereas, like, let's look at the fish prices, right? So just using Yarmouth as our example here, let's take a look. We've got so let's see here. Mackerel is $1.15, whereas lobster is still $9.40 a pound. So I think, like, pound for pound, yeah, it's almost $10 in Digby, and it's $10.55 in Dennis Point. So I think pound for pound, our best bet is going to be literally like rigging for lobsters and then going out for lobster fishing, because, like, I don't like lobster fishing in a bigger boat where I have to lay out one pot at a time. I think that sucks. But you got to do what you got to do, right? I don't think it makes sense for us to buy the additional whatchamacallit space for the quotas on a ship that we're not going to be using for much longer, right? So Yarmouth is $2, and that might be where we take our redfish. Let's take a look. Let's see here. Yeah, so Yarmouth is where we're headed with our redfish, and let's go ahead and fast travel over there. I think Yarmouth is right there. Yes, fantastic. And then what I'll do is I'll rig for lobsters, and we'll go from there. So that's 222,922 brings our total up to 665,107. So we're on our way, but that is slightly a little bit of a setback. I don't want to do the tutorial. I appreciate that. So we will rig for lobsters, and let's see here. Let's get our fishing gear. Buy small pots. We'll buy the steel pots. I don't think we need 50. Let's get 25. Let's get 25 pots, and then we'll buy lobster bait, and we'll just get a bunch of that. And yeah, let's see. Let's go to town, and let's talk to the bar and see if there's lobsters from 3 days ago. Heck yes. Okay. So lobsters from 3 days ago. Let's see here. We got lobsters 4 days ago over there. Lobsters 13. There's a by the way, let's take a look. What is it? Fish. One second. Let me find it. It's under logbook, by the way. I did a little skip. Okay, so habitat number 1 has a high population. So let's take a look and see. There you go. There's habitat 1 right there, but we ended up with habitat 2 on our map over here. Okay, so I think what we do is we head out over here and see what we can do. I don't plan on spending money on training the crew to be better. Oh, we need to do our maintenance. I don't think it makes any sense for us to train the crew for lobsters, because I don't really plan on doing a heck of a lot of lobster fishing with this boat. The plan is to save enough money for the Emery, buy that, sell this one, upgrade the Emery, yada yada, so on and so forth. And then if we're still playing the game into next season, which I think we will, because I'm trying to get all the achievements before I consider, like, this YouTube season 1 of Fishing North Atlantic to be complete. And so I think we will be lobster fishing again, but I want like a not guilty or something a little bit better at lobster fishing than this guy right here. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna fast travel over here. Now the reason why I'm fast traveling is just to avoid that boat that was in our way, because realistically I just want to use our navigation system here. I'm gonna go ahead and save the game just in case. It is a good idea to save and save often in this game due to, you know, a number of reasons. Crashes, like the game crashing, not us crashing, though crashing your boat is certainly another good reason to do that. Let's skip a little bit of time here. Everybody's at rest, okay, and then let's go into the morning because we've been at night like all day. Okay, so let's see here, 8 in the morning. Let's try 8 in the morning. There we go. Okay, let's find ourselves some fish. So let's bust down. Let's do this. Who is the best lobster pot bait and setting? Okay, Sadie is a 7. Graham is a 10. Okay, so far Graham. And then pot bait setting, Mikhail is 11. And okay, so Mikhail is our dude there, and we'll get this guy to prepare the bait. And yeah, okay, so I'm gonna go find some go find some fish, and I'll bring you back once I do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 5 o'clock in the morning, and I just finished laying out 25 lobster pots. So hopefully we can turn that into money. And maybe we should have been lobster, you know, hunting there for a while. But, you know, like, I can't do the exact same thing over and over and over again. So it's kind of a good thing that we ended up with our quota, because now we're gonna end up getting a little bit of variety here as you know, Mikhail pulls up the pot. That's a decent looking pot. Okay, I'm gonna open this pot here, grab a lobster. Ooh, we'll help out. And look at that, we got, oh man, I gotta find the, oh, I gotta hold it now. Sucks. Okay, well, that guy's definitely too small. It's kind of hard to see, huh? But this guy, he's good. So let's go ahead and attach those bands to that bad boy. No, you can see that one's eyeballs, so that one's too small. All right, let's go put this back. All right, and whoa, we were kind of moving. I guess I should have been the captain instead of a crab sorter. But yeah, as is tradition, I'll bring you back at the end of the lobster pots here, or if something significant happens in between now and then. But yeah, so our crew is also not very skilled at this particular job, and I don't feel like spending the money to train them just yet, because we got to save money for the emery. So anyway, I'll bring you back at the end of the lobster pots. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna bring you back here because we are slowly but surely making our way through our pots. There's a couple more that we need to get through, so I'm gonna help out, make it go a little bit faster here. I think it was, you know, we're gonna end up with probably like 12,000 ish pounds of lobster. Maybe like a little bit less than that, somewhere in that neighborhood though, because oh, never mind, we're at 14,719 rather. So we had one good pot on here that was 1,000 pounds of lobster, but sadly the rest of these are anywhere in the neighborhood of anywhere from 250 to about 700 was our average. And so yeah, I didn't expect to fill the boat. The boat has a huge cargo hold in it. So I was really not expecting to see any kind of results out of that, right? But like it's not horrible either, because you know, 15,000 pounds, maybe if we end up with like a couple good pots here at the end, it will be a little bit better. Sadie is getting a little tired, but she's doing okay still, so hopefully this gets her like a level in crab sorting, because we did do 25 pots. And by the way, this has taken me a very long time to do. This is the longest recording time that I have in a fishing North Atlantic episode. I'm currently at 1 hour and 46 minutes of recording time as of right now. So it's taking longer and longer to do some of these, and that's also the reason why I didn't want to lay out 50 pots and then have to do them individually. That would have been a freaking nightmare, because you know, once you start dealing with a lot larger number of you know, lobsters and stuff like that, it really benefits you to have more like whatchamacallit, so the Knot's Guilty. One of the things that's really nice about that boat, and I forget the name of the other one, but the nice thing about the boats that are purposefully made for lobsters is that they can drop 15 pots at a time, which also means that you pull more up at the end of your little journey there, right? So you end up saving just a ton more time and stuff. So there we go. We ended up with another 500 lobsters, 500 pounds of lobsters. So we're at 16,407, and I think the fish prices, I believe fish prices, we had lobster at Dennis Point for $10.54. And then what else do we got? Digby, Ingalls, Lockport. I think we're heading to Dennis Point. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, so Dennis Point is where we are going, and I think Dennis Point is right there. Look at that. Bam! Well, let's fast travel there. Now a smart captain. Yeah, there we go. Sadie leveled up. That's good. A smart captain would have taken off the other two crew members for this trip. Ah, dang, $159,000. With two undersized lobsters costing us 2,000 bucks. That's not bad though. That's pretty decent. I think we'll go back to net fishing in the next episode and try to get mackerel. So thank you so much for joining me on this episode. We're up to 769,597, which is pretty good, because I think you know, we'll be able to buy the next boat here before too long. So let's see here. What's available? Oh, these are the like spearfishing boats, which I don't want to do that right now. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you in the next one. D2K simulators. Thank you so much for making it to the end of that video. You're an awesome possum. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as that goes a really long way in helping this small channel grow. Feel free to join the Discord. There's a link in the description down below, and the YouTube algorithm thinks that you will like this video next. I will see you in the next one.